What do you think of when you see this picture? Or this one? Probably the first thing that comes to your mind is a sense of creepiness. But yet again, something else comes into your mind. A feeling of familiarity. And I don't disagree with you on that. The other day, I was on YouTube and I fell down the rabbit hole of watching videos of augmented reality, like this one by David Crypt, which is a slideshow of images that depict two feelings, creepiness and familiarity, which in total gives the video a creepy feeling. The video is titled, Pictures That Strangely Feel Familiar But Are Uncomfortable. Now this sort of thing had fascinated me, causing me to wonder, how? How are these images making me feel this way? In this video, I will be trying to analyze the meaning of these images. So there's two things that you already notice in these images. There's no signs of life or people. The places in these images are sometimes unkempt or even abandoned, while others look like they are new to an unrealistic value. The images also don't look like any familiar imagery. And by that, I mean there's no familiar landmarks. For example, you don't see the Eiffel Tower or the Pyramids of Giza anywhere. These images can be taken anywhere on the planet. It also has the aesthetic of the early 2000s, for example, CRT televisions and arcades. Now that we know the main factors for these images, I'd like to dissect them, and there are two main categories for that, nostalgia and creepiness. I think the nostalgia comes from the early 2000s aesthetic. There are schools, arcades, televisions, and even daycares, which can make the person who's looking at these images look back on their past as if they were a child. There's also old-style homes with floral print wallpaper and wood panels, which may cause the viewer to remember moments in their life when they were in homes such as these. For sure, when I see this image, I think of my grandparents' house. Now, nostalgia aside, the more prevalent imagery in here is the creepiness. First thing to note is that there are zero people. There's strong senses of loneliness. I am sure that the lack of people is why these images feel creepy at times, because it relates more to the viewer. If there were lots of people in here, it'd not feel like a forgotten memory. It's a similar reason for the camera quality, grainy and low. The images are similar to memories found in the back of your mind, things you remembered a long time ago or have forgotten for years now. And for the surreal category of these images, they're supposed to feel like dreams. Often, the images depicted in dreams are unnaturally bright and make close to zero sense. My conclusion is that these images are familiar yet uncomfortable, because they give off strong vibes of being a child. They're almost like walking around in a world that you had little or to no knowledge about. A parallel universe, maybe? It's the childhood bewilderment that gives off these strong vibes. They feel like dreams or distant memories. I have to admit, if you grew up in the United States, these images only give you these feelings if you were raised in the early 2000s. Tons of people feel the same way I do about these images. Now, I think the reason why they cause the viewer to feel the way they do is because the images act as forgotten links in the childhood. And I feel that as the reason behind it extremely fascinating. Thank you for watching.